Lindsay, thank you for joining us once again. Really appreciate that. You've done a fantastic job once again, Lindsay. We've had a fantastic turnout. We're at the Apprenticeship Are you prepared for the Apprenticeship Levy Conference Mark II?
Yeah.
So how was it for you?
Today's been really special because obviously the announcements were made this week.
Yeah.
So all the questions, the burning questions for everybody who's involved in the sector, they've had 12, 13 downloads to look at, but to actually be able to spend 2 hours listening to the SFA, Una Benner, who did a brilliant job today, speaking, and to actually then spend half an hour, 3/4 of an hour taking questions and an answer, I think we've all waited for this. We thought it's going to happen in July. It hasn't happened until this week. There's only 6 months left till we actually start the apprenticeship levy. Everybody wants to get on. Everybody wants to know where they are. What does it mean for their organisation? How can they go forward to build to the 3 million apprenticeship? So it's been a really special day, and it couldn't come at a better time.
It just worked out fantastically well in terms of your date and with the announcement as well. You're first to market in terms of actually getting the news out there. So again, congratulations. I think it's a fantastic coup. You've done fantastically well. I think as well with regard to the SFA, they extended their time as well, which was fantastic.
And they filmed as well. So they filmed today, which is going to be available to everybody to see. I know we filmed it as well today. Because we've got to share, because we've got to have more partnership workings. It can't be just, we've got this information, you can't have it.
Yeah.
We've got to be working together. To make apprenticeships work, there's got to be more partnership working across all different organisations. People have got to get into bed with one another and start...
More sort of partnership, collaboration type of work and so forth.
We've all got an end goal to make apprenticeships work. And to make sure they're quality, and it's just not a numbers game anymore. So this is the way forward.
I mean, in terms of today, you've had fantastic turnout of speakers. Just tell us a little bit about who was here today, and a little bit about some of the subjects that we've covered.
Well, obviously we had the SFA, which is the main part, to talk about the apprenticeship levy. Then we've moved on and we go through the list.
Obviously, we've headline sponsors, Smart Assessor.
Fiona's always supported me since day one. We started up about the same time a few years back. Fiona's always been there for me and, supporting, and she's built it up from, a kitchen table. So she's done fantastically well. So it's great to have Fiona here, and she spoke today about how her organisation has sort of works to make Trailblazers work, so they're a step ahead. We've got the technology. Technology is the way forward, because as somebody said today in one of their presentation, actually the standards, which were only meant to be 2 pages, by the time we had everything else on, are actually bigger than the old frameworks, which some of them could be 365 pages long, because I can remember downloading them,
Her video was fantastic, her presentation. Obviously they're a technology organisation, and I was really inspired by the video in terms of the technology, the pace of change and so forth.
And I think it's important for, to see what technology is out there, so people know what's out there, and to look at it and say, will this work for our organisation? Will it cut down? Because so much time is spent on paperwork. Is there an easier way to do things? And I think that's where Fiona's ahead of the game.
Once again, you've had Tony Allen, he's the chair.
Tony, obviously he was the director for the large companies for the SFA. If anybody knows how large companies work, that is one man that knows how to do it. Do you know what I mean? So actually when he's speaking, he knows the ins and outs of the SFA. He knows how apprenticeships work. He's no better person, I think, at the present time to ask questions. He doesn't work for a larger organisation. He works for himself. He's neutral, so he can ask the right questions at the right time. And I think his insight is valuable to events like this.
The Mike Thompson from Barclays, he brought an apprentice along with him, and wasn't that
fantastic? And stories like that we've got to hear. I know we only had one apprentice here today, but the schedule was really tight. But what a story that young man had to say. You can't call him a young lad, but he's, it was brilliant. And look where he is now, graduate manager for Barclays. And it shows you, because Barclays have invested a lot of time and effort into apprenticeships, and Mike is so passionate about them. He's on the Apprenticeship Ambassador Board. He knows how it works. We've all seen the TV adverts, what Barclays do.
The life skills, the youth employability stuff that they're doing, a lot of investment in youth programs and so forth. So they're again, really taking it very seriously and putting.
And I always appreciate take Mike because he's always come and spoke at my conferences. You know what I mean? He's a real ambassador for apprenticeships.
Yeah, we've got some key figures here. We've got, I think, Verity has just spoken from EEF.
And what an insight she gave. It was really open and honest, I thought. Do you know what I mean? To say what her members think. Yeah. And maybe it's come across cynical, but it was a valued point. You know, they want apprenticeships to work for their members, but they want to make them work right. So I thought her insight was brilliant today.
Julie Hyde talking about obviously GCSEs and maths and English and the whole issue about, you know, the whole sector as well, you know.
It's such an important issue for her sector and for the young people that work in it, maths and English, you know. I thought she gave a brilliant presentation today and presented her case for why we need to look at maths and English.
I hope it works out for them. I mean, because it is a big issue, and they've got a big disadvantage at the moment in terms of how that sector has been treated as opposed to sort of all the other sort of health and social care sector and all the other sectors out there.
You know, it's one of the poorest paid apprenticeship qualifications. You know, harder for it.
A lot of females, a lot of small businesses as well.
Small business employers. You know, the apprentices, they probably don't get, they're not all on 20, 30,000 a year, as Verity said about her members. So she's working with people that maybe struggled at school. It's a great opportunity for them, and in some ways we're closing the door. And they have campaigned so hard. So brilliant.
Martin Price, in terms of construction, I mean, he's talking about obviously construction sector has already had the levy from before, but it's slightly different levy, and he had his insights as well. So, you know, somebody representing.
And you know, we've got, you know, and construction's an interesting area because we have, you know, we have skill shortages, but we're not addressing them in the construction. So, you know, really good presentation from him.
And you know, just fantastic speakers all around. I mean, we've had fantastic speakers. You know, figures, industry figures. Stuart Segal from.
But I think it's the first time he's spoken since he stepped down as the chair of the ALP. Yeah. So it was interesting for him to say. I can actually say now what I think. I can, you know, I don't have to toe the party line. And you know, it's a real coup to get him because, like I said, I think it's the first I think he's actually spoken at any event.
So it's just a fantastic array of speakers. You know, the guys from industry, the people from the sector, they are from awarding bodies, from training providers, from large organisations, and it's just a fantastic mix of people as well. And again, if you just look at the delegate list as well, it's just, you know, from all over the country, you know, good representation here. So again, fantastic.
Yeah, no, I'm really pleased because I think where Apprenticeships England is slightly different to maybe other sort of people that think we've always engaged like a 360, so it's anybody that's been involved in apprenticeships, from apprentices to employers, and it's not something we just started because of the apprenticeship levy. It's something that we've always done from the day that Apprenticeship England started 5 years ago. So a great many members of the Apprenticeship England LinkedIn group are actually employers. So we're sort of in some ways one step ahead of other organisations, and now thinking we've got to start talking to employers. Employers have always been part of Apprenticeships England, and so in some ways we're a step ahead of maybe other organisations who've always been training provider, colleges led, because businesses have got to be involved. So when we have like the celebration of Apprenticeship Conference in National Apprenticeship Week next year, day one is just business led, because they are the ones that are leading on apprenticeships now. So day one, we're actually going to be working with employers, and we've had people here today from industry, the Institute of Couriers. They have some of the biggest apprenticeship programs in the country. They're going to get their members to come and speak at the conference, which is, we've got to hear from the voice of employers more.
You touched on the conference. It's happening National Apprenticeship Week.
It's happening, yes, the 7th and 8th of March. It's going to be a 2-day conference, and we also have the apprentice debate where we have 150 apprentices come in and discuss apprenticeships from an apprentice perspective, and it's chaired by apprentices, and we've held it now for 4 years, and they invite speakers along to speak at it, and we've had it opened by Ministers of State before now, and it's really good. It's not just a token gesture, this is their own event, and obviously they can then join the main conference, but this is their own chance, not as a token we've got an apprentice on the stage, they have their own session. And it's really enlightening to hear what they have to say about apprentices. So I'm really excited about that.
Lindsay, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a fantastic job. You know, you're an ambassador for the sector. You know, everybody loves you, and you're doing, as I said, a remarkable job. Thank you very much again, once again.
Lovely to speak to you again.
Thank you.